Hey everyone, it is ZOE Game Night. My name is Ben Dobbins. I run Zombie Orpheus Entertainment. We've been in the studio all week doing tons of workshops and other pieces. I'm so excited to be here for Game Night tonight. I'm mainly going to be in the booth, but a huge thank you to everyone who makes what we do in these studios possible, from our cast, our crew, and of course, all 1 or 2 viewers we have right at the moment. But you know, there's always VOD. We have some great games planned. I wanted to give everyone just a little bit of an update. We're planning some pretty significant upgrades to the studio over the next few weeks. We've done a whole lot of training, and tonight's process, we're going to be putting a lot of that training to the test for the first time. We're using new streaming software. We're trying some new techniques in front of the table. So I'm very much hoping that you can roll with us as we do a little bit of stop and start and go and no.
No and go?
No and go?
Either one works, really.
Based on the weather, it could have been snow and go today. Anyway, in any case, thanks so much for being here. I'm going to pass it over to Bryce, our host for this evening, and if all goes well, you won't see or hear me again. Bryce, over to you.
If it all goes well. Well, I'm Bryce, and I'm here to be your host for the night. With me I have Amanda, Madeleine, and Sharon, and we're here to play a sweet, sweet game. I'd also like to thank our technical director, Leo, who's back in the booth, with a little assistance from Ben Dobbins, but it's mostly all her. Today, we're going to be playing Call to Adventure, which is a super sweet game that was designed by Chris and Johnny O'Neill and put out by BrotherWise Games. It's a cool adventure game where we're going to build our character as we go, and you'll get to see us do that thing. I think that's about it. Let's get right into it, guys.
Okay. Who goes first?
Whoever read a novel most recently gets to go first.
Do you have to have finished said novel?
There's a lot of debate on that.
And does it have to be one you didn't write yourself?
Again, a lot of debate on that.
I honestly, though, I do think that's a winner.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah, I think we'll let you win that one.
Okay.
We'll let you
We'll
win
let you win, and
that.
I get to go first.
So if you could show your character and tell us a little bit about yourself, how you started. Not you, the character.
I gathered that.
Your choice. I mean, if you want to tell us your life story, Amanda, I'm okay with it.
We've only got a couple hours worth of stream here, though. So, indeed, I am an outlander. Look at that snow. I'm very cold. I'm cold all the time. In fact, I am striving to reach a point in my life where I can, in fact, be indoors. And I am indeed the sole survivor of
So unfortunate.
some sort of epic tragedy that I had no hand at all in the cause of. None at all. And it is about to be Act 1.
It is going to be Act 1. This is a game that is played in multiple acts. The first act will be revealed now with the help of Sharon. Each player will get to choose one of these cards to either attempt a challenge or gain an additional trait.
And what I'm going to ask you to do is we're working on solving some echo problems because of the new software, so we can't show the board yet.
Okay.
So if we could just talk a little more generally for a bit, that'd be great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Do we want to, everyone else reveal what their characters
Yeah,
are?
let's reveal our
Yeah, sure.
characters and so we all know.
Cool.
Go ahead, Madeleine.
So, I am a hunter
Ooh.
who is a natural leader. And I'm looking forward to leading, hunting.
Naturally.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Sharon, who are you tonight?
I am an acolyte, and I am the sworn protector of, at this point, just myself.
Excellent, excellent.
But I think that that's a valuable goal to have. I think that people should always make sure that they themselves are in good shape, and that's the most reasonable course of action. So even though I have nobody to protect right now, I've sworn to protect myself.
That makes a lot of sense. I am a settler who was born lucky.
No!
I've been so lucky on the things I've settled. It's just crazy. So, as said, the game is played in multiple acts. each character has a couple of traits. Strength, charisma, those ones. So as we attempt to do challenge, or it can't be seen, as we attempt to do challenges as well as get traits, we'll be, instead of rolling dice, we'll be rolling these really cool bone tiles, the runes. We'll get a certain amount of runes just for being ourselves. Those are called the core runes. Those are these basic white ones. We'll also then get bonus runes based on our abilities. So as a settler, I have 1 constitution, which is this red one, as well as 1 intelligence, which is this blue little wand one. So whenever I attempt a roll that will allow for that, I get to add those runes to my pool. And for those of us with darker intentions, we can also spend one of our experience points to gain a dark rune, which only helps to get successes, but it also has a chance to turn us to the dark side.
Dun dun dun.
So we've revealed our first act, and there are multiple options on each card. For our adventures? Challenges? Challenges, there's a top and a bottom. You can choose whatever one you would like to challenge. But take on the challenge. But once you do, that choice is locked. So if you choose to excel in your studies, excellent. You'll get to make a roll with the runes, with your intelligence, or your wisdom, as well as the core runes.
I thought it was and. I thought that
it is and. My apologies.
To add any of those runes that you have on the card.
It is, and I'm wrong. Thank you for pointing that out.
You're welcome. In public.
Thanks. The challenge number here is 4. So you would get to add your intelligence and wisdom runes to the core runes to try to get that. Make sense so far?
How do you read the runes?
Well, on each one, we'll grab this dexterity rune. There's one that has a symbol, and there's one that has a slash. A slash is 1 success. The symbol is 2 successes.
Okay.
Well, I believe you've read a novel that you've written most recently.
Indeed. Always reading. And it's our thing, y'all. All right. I, sole surviving Outlander, feel as though I need to learn to fight dirty.
Ooh.
Because fighting clean, I guess it left me alive. Really, what do I have to complain about? But indeed, I shall learn to fight dirty.
You've done some things. You survived.
Indeed. All right. And I am going to spend an experience point
Oh no!
to add the darkness.
Dun dun dun.
This is attacking with the darkness.
I see. Harnessing that negative energy.
It was dark with darkness. Oh, it happened! 4 successes!
Nice.
I have successfully learned to fight dirty in the dark.
And so she's placing that underneath her Act 1 trait.
So now I have access to all 4, there it is, all 4 of the runes outlined on these cards.
There's also some symbols that will appear on the cards that aren't one of the runes. Those will later on add victory points to your total, depending on how many of each one you get. So it does behoove you to get multiple of the same one.
So are we going clockwise?
Yes.
Always clockwise.
Always clockwise.
Some games want you to go counterclockwise, and those games are wrong.
Oh.
All right, let's see here.
Just
So,
having fun here. just having fun.
Can you talk about what you're thinking about?
I, as a hunter, already have the ability to roll a dexterity and a wisdom. So I'm looking at each of these cards to figure out what I want to try to roll for based on skills I already have and what I might be most successful at. So, harness dark power. I don't have anything that would help me with that. I could try forbidden
Oh,
love.
I'm sorry, Pax.
Forbidden lore.
Forbidden lore.
Forbidden love would
Oh.
be something else completely.
See, couldn't
But
read
you still
that.
get some points for it.
And it's still forbidden.
Yeah,
Forbidden is what's important.
I'm gonna go for uncovering hidden lore at the top.
Okay.
So let's see. I roll the base ones, and so I would need intelligence as well,
No.
or no?
You
Oh, that's what I.
You get to
can-
add those.
You could roll. You could roll on You could attempt a challenge even if you don't have any of the symbols. It's just harder for you to do because you don't get that bonus. But because
Okay.
you have one dexterity symbol, you get a bonus dexterity rune.
Okay, so I'm going for uncover hidden lore,
Okay.
and I would need 4 successes to. Ooh,
Okay.
not get it.
Unfortunately, you did not succeed on uncovering hidden lore.
Only got 3 successes.
But I think you've learned from it. And so when you fail a challenge, you get 1 experience point.
Yay!
And uncover hidden lore is now gone. Nobody will be able to do that.
The lore shall remain hidden.
We'll never know.
Operation.
But
It was forbidden.
we will uncover a new card, which is bravely done.
Oh,
All right.
I want to be brave so bad. I really want to be
I want to
brave.
see you be brave.
Oh.
You brave acolyte who...
Okay. So I want to be brave, which means I want to obtain something that gives me a yellow strength rune. But I don't have a reasonable pathway to do that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the academy because that requires wisdom, and I have a wisdom rune.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the academy, and I am going to excel in my studies because I'm a nerd.
It's true.
In the best way, though.
Everyone loves nerds.
Okay, so I need the 3 core runes and then 1 green wisdom rune. Okay. All right.
You can do it, you acolyte,
Big
you.
rune goodness. No whammies.
No,
There it is.
And that's only 3.
That is only 3.
That's only 3. But my acolyte ability is that once per turn, when I fail a wisdom or charisma challenge, I can pay 2 experience to try again.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, do I get to draw this card though?
You do not get to draw it if you re-roll. So, on some of the runes,
Okay.
specifically the core runes, instead of successes, you get access to a couple different perks. There are some that will grant you 1 experience, and there are some that will allow you to draw a hero or anti-hero card.
Before I reroll, can I buy a dark rune?
Yes, you can.
I'm gonna buy a dark rune.
Dun, dun,
I'm gonna
dun.
excel in my studies no matter what.
In the dark.
And still no! The darkness did not help me! But I do get to draw a card.
You do get to
I do
draw
get to draw
a
a
card.
card. So I'm gonna draw a good guy card. A
So-
hero card.
So these cards, which we haven't gone over because they've been secret, will allow you to add a rune to your check or allow you to re-roll. There's a large variety of things that you're allowed to do. But on the side of our player boards, we have a morality meter. We start in the middle. We could use our dark cards. We could use our light cards. But as we get darker, we're not allowed to use our hero cards because we've gone too far to the dark side. Subsequently? Alternatively, that's the word. If we get too good, we can't use our anti-hero cards. So it's a balance you're going to have to play and think about how you do things.
Okay, but I flubbed all of it.
Yes.
So I failed my studies so poorly that the academy
They booted you out.
it's
You
gone.
can't do
They
it.
went
It's
out of
gone.
business.
But even though you didn't excel at your studies, you did learn a thing or two about reading in the dark.
Yay! Now I can buy more dark runes. That's my turn.
That is your turn. So, as a settler who was born lucky, I'm going to. Ooh, where's dark power?
Ooh.
I'm going to resist temptation. Because.
So you're encountering the dangerous
So I'm
artifact?
going to the dangerous artifact, and I'm going to see what happens. And I'm going to attempt to resist that temptation. So once you announce which one you're going to do, that's what I'm going to do from now on.
Mm-hmm.
So it is starting with the core runes.
Okay.
I also have 1 Constitution and 1 Intelligence, which is the blue one. Could you hand me a rune?
Here you go.
Thank you. So I have 5 runes, but I've seen how poorly that goes for some people. So I'm going to spend 1 of my experience tokens and get a dark rune. So the dark runes have 1 success if you get a slash, or 2 successes if you get the moon symbol. But if you get the moon symbol, you go down on your morality track and you become, I don't want to say less good of a person, but you become a worse person.
On the more anti-hero side than true hero.
It's a grittier person.
Yeah.
Not a worse person. More of a Batman reboot kind of person.
I am the knight.
You become a video game protagonist.
So, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. Because a slash is 1, but the symbol is 2.
Okay.
So I have 5 successes, so I resisted temptation. I also have the special symbol that lets me draw a card. And I think I'm going to draw an anti-hero card.
Darker, grittier reboot.
Darker, grittier reboot. So I'm going to resist temptation, and I'm going to put it under my origin card. I'm a settler who's resisted temptation, mostly because I was born lucky.
That reveals the Lost in the Woods challenge.
And with that, my turn is over.
Well, it feels only right that I, as an outlander, would be lost in the woods.
Yeah.
I shall attempt to find a place of power.
Okay.
And in doing so, I am going to play my hero card.
Ooh.
For my hero card allows me to add a pointy arrow thing.
Dexterity.
Thank you. To my roll. And I shall need that in order to succeed over here. I also have a green one. And
Wisdom.
wisdom. That one's for wisdom, y'all.
Green wisdom.
And-
Green chevron.
And the 3 of these. And I only need 3 successes.
Mhm.
And I'm
Well,
rolling-
Actually,
Ooh.
because it has this +1,
Whoa.
you do need 4.
I do need 4.
Because it's harder to find a place of power than it is to escape your pursuers.
So, just make sure everyone's aware, because I know I just forgot it. Each one of our origins does have a bonus ability that is usually pretty helpful. So just remember that.
Indeed. My origin card as an Outlander says that were I to fail this challenge, seeing as I'm using the wisdom rune here, I'd actually gain 2 additional experience points in addition to the one I'm already going to get.
That's a lot of experience points.
That is why I am not afraid to pay for this dark rune.
That makes
because
perfect
I'm
sense.
either going to succeed or I'm going to be like rolling in the little red thing. So
Fair enough. Make it hail.
I have 5 successes and I needed 4, and so I have found a place of power.
And which card do you get?
I get a hero card,
Okay.
Interesting.
which is going to be real interesting because I can no longer use a hero card. As
You
I
just-
have seeped so far into the darkness
You
at
did
this
not.
point.
You only go down.
But I didn't get the moon. You're right. I
If-
can.
if-
I can fill this hero
Just
card.
for now.
I can
Alright.
use, if I quickly remember to do it, I will be able to use this.
Before things get too dark.
The card that is revealed is a foundling trait.
Ah. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry, Fadior. I'm an echoey guy. Maybe it's fixed.
All right. So, since I'm a hunter and a natural leader,
Mhm.
I think I would also be brave.
That makes sense.
So, I'm going to try for Actually,
Yeah, brave is a trait.
Brave
which
is a
means
trait.
You have to meet the criteria at the bottom, and then you can pick it up. So if you have a yellow strength symbol, then you can get another yellow strength symbol.
I do not have a yellow strength
And
symbol.
the scales
Or
of balance.
You could spend 1 experience point
That's true.
and then just become brave.
I think that's what I'm gonna do.
I'll take
There
that
you
experience
go.
point. You've become so brave, Hunter.
A brave hunter that is a natural leader.
All right.
The card that comes up is the Thieves Guild, where you can train as a spy or train as a killer.
Train as a spy. Train as a spy. I want to. Okay.
So what were you gonna do?
I might prepare for war.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, I'm gonna go train as a spy. And I'm gonna, as part of my spy training, I'm gonna have a narrow escape. Play this before you attempt a challenge. Add an extra dexterity or constitution rune to the attempt. So I get the 3 core runes. Thank you. I get 1 purple charisma.
Crown.
Not that one, no, that's the special one.
There we go.
All right. And then I get an extra dexterity.
At the special
Great
So
dexterity.
since it came up, there are special ones that you get when you have 3 of those runes.
That's what the little polka dots are.
That's what the polka dots are.
Super succeeded,
You super
though.
succeeded.
And I want credit for this random chance.
You did well with your randomness.
Thank you.
Good job.
I trained as a spy. I'm an acolyte who trained as a spy.
00 acolyte.
So on
Heck
the opposite
yeah.
side of the special polka dotted runes is a special ability that will get you something. You'll either get to draw an anti-hero card, draw a hero card, get an experience. There's a lot of options.
And all of those possibilities are outlined here.
They are outlined on our
Bottom of our
sweet,
little
sweet
paper.
board.
Okay.
Going to reveal a childhood rival.
No.
So, something that I neglected to mention at the beginning. We have our origin. We have our motivation. We also have an epic destiny that has been hidden from everyone but ourselves. So we can look at it and know that what we're trying to do, which will give us bonus points at the end.
As we all look at it, trying to remember what we chose.
Yup.
It was 20 minutes ago.
So
Seems like another lifetime.
I am a settler still.
Keep going.
As a settler, I'm going to be looking for something to do that is intelligence or constitution based, and I feel that I would be best served. Gosh, darn it to hex. I would be best served by defending my homestead, because I settled it. It's mine.
Okay.
So the call to arms was raised, and I'm going to defend my homestead. I get the 3 core runes, and I get 2 of the red runes. Unfortunately, I have no swords, but I am going to spend an experience to become just a little darker. For no reason.
You roll to the other side of your board, please.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh,
5.
okay.
That beats the 4 that I was looking for.
All right.
So I have now defended the homestead.
You were just lucky.
We're just lucky. That happens. So we've only been going through Act 1. The way we get to go to Act 2 is when somebody has completed or acquired 3 cards that'll go under their origin. Theoretically, that may happen right now. Which I'm gonna show us.
Indeed it may.
May.
Because you see, I have encountered a childhood rival, and I intend to crush them.
That poor child.
I'll
Hopefully
grind
they're
their
not
bones to
still
make
a
my
child.
bread.
I'm gonna be a commercial break or something.
Oh.
We're solving all kinds of exciting tech issues in the back. I don't know if you've been following on the monitor. Oh, sorry.
You're good. I did it a lot.
Yeah. So I'd love to hear from chat. How the cutting is working. If you're able to if you're able to follow along, if you need us to slow down, what the pacing is, how that's working for you. This is the first of our interruptions, but I'm totally stalling for time so that we can make the booth amazing. So yeah.
So right now,
Okay.
I'm a settler that has
Okay.
resisted temptation, and I've defended my homestead. It's probably just because, as you said, I was born lucky. But where are you at, Amanda?
I am playing an outlander, and indeed I am the sole survivor of a great tragedy that I will not go into. I have on this adventure found a place of power and learned to fight dirty, and right now I am about to crush my childhood rival.
Is that where you learned to fight dirty?
So, and this is where So I've been catching up. I know Leo knows this game inside out. I
course.
don't. So can you talk me through kind of each stage of the play? Because I'm sitting there with the camera, kind of trying to follow it. I'd love to understand specifically how we move through. Especially when these cards get picked up, so we know when to focus here and when we know to focus
Okay.
there.
So,
Yeah, we're working on the echo, Petra. Thank you.
the way the game is played is that there's 5 cards laid out. Usually I'll refer to it as a tableau because that's just what's in my brain space.
Mm-hmm.
We get to choose which one we're going to attempt. Either there are traits, which we'll acquire by having certain things, or there will be a challenge that we will try to do.
Okay.
This one, for instance, is a Raging Inferno.
Yeah.
We can choose to either survive the flames or heal the wounded.
Okay. So we want to show both of those options when we zoom in on the card.
Yes.
Okay.
The number in the corner here is a challenge number.
Yeah.
So when we throw the bones, read the runes, not throw the bones. I'm so used to dominoes. When we go to read the runes, we'll need to get 3 successes. We'll always start with the 3 core runes.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll always have an option to get 3.
Yeah.
This, again, using this as an example, has the green one, which is wisdom, and the red one, which is constitution.
Which you have.
I do have all the constitution stuff. Any of those symbols that you've already acquired will allow you to add those runes to your roll.
Got it.
Then if you get it, depending on which one you've chosen, you will add it to your personal board, revealing which side you completed.
Yeah.
You'll then get to add more runes on your subsequent rolls.
So one thing I'm seeing in notes in chat, we're working on cameras being upside down. It's because we can't flip some of these cameras 180, so we're flipping them in the software when they're here versus here.
That makes sense.
Panning across the cards is fast. Focusing on the ones folks are talking about, I think what would really help us then is if we actually slow down. Like anytime we're dealing with a card, we can't read from the booth where they are. So like if you're talking about Foundling, if your hand goes here, I know to focus there, and then I can zoom in on the card and do it. And the same deal, like if you're picking up a card here and you're reading it, if you hold it there for a moment, we have a decent shot at being able to catch it up. And then when these cards are going in, if the hand is over the action, we can't see it. If the hand is to the side of the action, we can see it go in. But actually using that real visual language to point, show us where we are, that also helps the people out there because they can't read these either. So that becomes a huge thing. How are we doing back there? Are we ready to move on, or are we still solving stuff?
I'm not sure because it's there's something in the computer it's not echo, it's compression, and it's digital compression in the computer. I don't figure out where it's happening yet.
Got it. So it's just making it seem hollow.
Sound like robots.
Whoa, fun times.
Too compressed.
Okay. So let's go ahead and continue from here. And for those of you in chat, we're going to continue working on solving audio, but that means we're not going to have a lot of cutting. Actually, Mark, if you could just set the main shot to the ATEM, then we can continue to do some basic cutting without flopping things and more or less follow the action while we continue working on audio.
Sounds
good for you?
Sweet.
Let us know if there's anything else we need to do.
Whose turn was it?
The Outlander.
All right, friends and fans, it is time to crush my childhood rival. And
Excellent.
yes, I'm going to use that tone of voice at every turn. Now, I do not have a sword and I do not have a crown, except my hero card allows me to borrow this charisma rune.
Excellent.
All right.
Fantastic. And then I have these 3, and I have 1 little experience.
Wow.
All right,
What are you
great.
using it for?
Demoon.
No.
So you're looking for 4 successes.
I am looking for 4 successes.
All right.
You can do it.
I
You
believe.
Outlander.
Ooh.
I did do it.
Yeah.
I more than did it. And I get an anti-hero card.
You do have the option. Just you
Not
couldn't-
anymore.
Oh, that's fair. Not
Well, you
fair.
can still pick
I
up.
have
other
become so
cards.
morally gray that I can no longer use the light side of the force. Oh darn! Not sad about it. I shall come over into the challenge pile and I will pick up the having crushed my childhood rival. It's a tiny piece.
So now that you have 3 things in your origin, on your next turn, Act 2 will begin.
I shall begin my life's second act.
All right.
Okay, so as a brave hunter
Ooh.
who is a natural leader, I think I'm going to try to, let's see, I am looking at, wow, some hard choices here. There's some very interesting paths, like survive the flames. There's orphan.
Your origin as an orphan. You just
Yeah.
recently found out.
Yeah.
Would it be redundant to be an orphan soul survivor?
I thought about it.
What about an orphan foundling soul survivor?
So, let's see. I think I'm going to attempt to build fortifications.
Preparing for war.
Yes. As a leader, I feel like that's,
Naturally.
yeah, you have to build your defenses. So, I have a sword because of brave. So I'm adding that to my roll of the base runes. Oh no, I did not make it. I ended up with 3 successes and I needed 4.
So you do still get to draw a card.
Yes.
And if it's a card that's immediately applicable, you get to play a card.
I'm going to grab a hero card. And nope,
Okay.
does not apply.
Unfortunate.
I tried.
The city
Yeah.
will be unprepared for war, but that's okay.
Well,
What?
it
Because-
still goes away.
You learned something about walls. With that, you get an experience point.
Yay.
Prepare for war. Goes in the slush pile. Okay. So, I had my 1 crack at the academy. It didn't go well. And then I trained as a spy, but I think I'm going to take another magical test
Okay.
in the hope that I discover some arcane ability. Because I'm an optimist.
One day it'll work.
You're determined.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
Oh.
Thank you. I'm choosing to interpret that as a compliment.
You've never been to the South.
Sharon's
No,
from Kansas.
I
She
can't.
knows
No, I know
what it means.
exactly what it is. So I do have 2 charisma runes, so if I could get 2 purples with no polka dots.
I'll
No
pick it
problem.
up.
All right. Okay. Not very smart though, so we'll see how this goes.
Believe in you.
5.
You did it.
I did it. I did the thing.
Yay.
Okay. So I have arcane ability, which
Mm.
is positive for
It
an
is
acolyte.
positive.
It's a good feature. All right, that's my go.
So, card that's revealed is a cruel winter.
Oh dear.
And I believe that as a settler, I should know a thing or two about foraging for food. That just seems to make sense for me. So I think to survive this cruel winter, I'm going to forage for food. So I'll get the base runes. So foraging for food.
And you need 4 successes.
I need 4 successes. Thankfully, though, as a settler, I've got such a hardy constitution.
You do. You've got the shiny one.
I get
So-
all 3, including the one with special pips.
Ooh.
Now, if I happen to get the one with special pips, it allows me to get an extra experience token, which is really nice. Unfortunately, it doesn't add any successes. So, double-edged sword. Maybe. Now, I'm going to spend my last experience token because I want to make sure I do this. I'm not going to let Amanda be the only one going to Act 2. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I crushed it. Now, this is the first time I remembered. As a settler, whenever I roll my runes and they read the shield symbol, I get to gain an experience.
Okay.
I've also foraged for food.
A glut of food. You have like
I have
enough
so
food
much-
to
so
feed
much
the
food.
whole village.
I'm not going to, but I could.
But you know why? It's because you were born lucky.
Oh, that's
You're
true.
so lucky. You've got
So
enough
lucky.
food for the whole winter.
I've got a knack at finding that food.
You could share,
I
but
could. The card that's revealed is an armed robbery. But because Amanda's now on Act 2, that allows us to reveal our Act 2 cards. Corrupt Official, Enlightened, Savage Beast, Naval Battle, and Captured.
ooh, I like all of them.
They sound so fun.
They do.
I just want to say I'm way less excited about armed robbery now because reading the card, you're the one who gets armed robbed. You don't get to do the robbery, so way less exciting. Don't do crimes, kids.
Hey everyone.
Hi.
Hello again, Ben.
I'm here to do an echo test. This is an echo test. A test for echoing. Chat will let us know if it's echoing.
Oh, that
Bryce, you
makes
want
sense.
to echo back to me?
I can echo back to you. How long have you had that sweater, Ben?
I've had this sweater for many years, Bryce.
I feel like I've seen you in that sweater for years.
All right, that's a good check on our echo situation. So before we start talking about you in high school, I'm gonna get out of here.
I support that.
Now, see, I heard a non-sweater story that involved a toga, but I don't know.
There's a lot of weird things we wore. It was a different time, the 2000s.
Oh,
Back
boy.
in my day,
Back in my
phones
life.
had buttons on them.
I miss my button phone.
Some of us recently had button phones, you see.
Yeah.
Some of us.
Like 2 weeks ago.
It finally kicked the phone bucket.
Precious. So I am going to try a thing here that's probably not going to work, but I'm out of experience points, and that is what you get when you fail. Experience is what you get
It's
when
true,
you don't
especially
get what you. Want.
you.
And as you're doing that, can you point to where you're gonna do it so I can...
I
Thank you. All right.
have encountered a naval battle, and I am going to attempt to sink the enemy ship. Oh yeah,
Of course.
that's me right there. Oh, of course I am.
Pax will talk later about high school. It's
I
fair.
have one little sorty rune.
Okay.
And I have these 3 regular ones. And I don't have any more little red things to
You
spend
don't?
on darkness. But I get +1 because I am an anti-hero. And I'm
And
choosing,
can you hold that above your
I
face?
am-
You're brilliant. Thank
there
you.
we are. I am choosing a dark path, and so I have an additional success added no matter what.
That
happens.
fateful choice
It
you
is a
made.
fateful choice to sink the enemy ship. And that is 4 plus 1 is 5.
Which is
I
not
have,
enough.
I have failed to sink the enemy ship.
Because that is the harder course of action, and it actually required
I see
that
that
+1.
now. Well, arm. And I have now squandered.
No, it still goes in your story.
Yeah, you still
Oh,
get
I
it. So
get-
you get 1 point.
I made a faithful
Unfortunately, you do not.
I do not get to
Yes,
sink
do
the
that.
battleship.
And
But I
this
do.
experience,
I
you
do
learned
get an
about it.
experience point. It's true.
Unfortunately, it was not a Constitution or Wisdom check. Otherwise, you'd get a lot.
That's true. That's okay.
But now you could do something with a street gang,
Oh, heck yeah.
which is exactly the type of thing that Sharon, our acolyte, likes to do.
I love street gangs.
We saw the hands. The turn is yours, Madeleine.
So, was that turning a new card over for the street gang, or?
Yes.
it was
Yes,
turning
it's
card
right
over.
here.
Okay, so can you do that about twice as slowly?
Yes, I can.
Brilliant. All right, thanks. Moving on.
And I'll do it for now and Sharon, that way it's that way.
Okay, you should also probably verbalize that you're going to introduce the new card, so it gives them
Will
that
do.
extra second.
Will do.
All right. It is my turn now. I still am trying to get cards underneath my first act so I can move on to my second act. So I'm looking at the top row here. I think I'm going to try to. Oh wow, there's so many interesting choices.
Tell us about them.
So I don't really have the skills. I have dexterity, wisdom, and strength. And a lot of the choices that are actually out here require.
Show me with your hand.
So for secret royalty, I could try. Oh,
Would
you've
you-
What
only
does that
need.
require?
So I can only get this if I discard a hero card or spend an experience. And I think that's what I'm going to do.
Secret royalty.
Yep, I'm going to spend an experience and go for secret royalty, which I'm putting underneath my Act 1.
My favorite trope.
Sorry.
You didn't realize I was a prince? That's all I had.
All right, so that is my
So I'm
turn.
going to reveal the next Act 1 card.
Give me even more time. All right. Great. Okay, go ahead. Cut the floor.
And that is spiritual, which you may not gain this card if you have any black diamonds in your personal board.
Just tragedy.
So tragedy.
Okay.
And use your hand as you think.
Okay. So I'm still thinking about this armed robbery card, which should come as a surprise to no one. So I think I'm gonna go for the armed robbery, and I'm gonna be a little bit less thiefy for once. And I'm gonna try to calm my attacker. So I get the core runes. If you can hand me those, thank you very much, Amanda.
You're welcome.
I also have 2 purple charisma crowns.
I love that song, Mark. It's one of my favorite.
Okay.
I can't sing it now, though. I was told that.
And then I'm going to double check my hero cards to see if that's applicable, and it's not. Okay, so I need 3. I have 4, which is
Oh, you can't see that.
enough. So I am now, I'm going to try and, beep, there we go. Okay. So I'm an acolyte with arcane ability who trained as a spy and calmed my attacker through my sweet de-escalation skills.
And now, what are you going to do with a calm attacker? Just randomly in the world?
Surprise attack them.
Just like rob them back.
Or if they have a weapon and I don't, I'm gonna run away
That makes
because
sense.
that's the reasonable course of action. All right.
So I'm going to reveal the next card.
Go ahead.
And this is another trait, rebellious. You can only get that card, or sorry, you may only gain this card if you gain 1 darkness point or spend an experience. So now that I'm on Act 2, I have been thinking about communing with nature because that's kind of what I would do as a settler, but I don't think I'm all that good at that. So instead, I'm going to be captured. But I was born lucky, so I'm going to break out of captivity. So I normally need 5, but because it's a little harder, it's a +1, I'll need 6. So I'm going to start with the core runes of 3. Because it's a strength or constitution roll, I'm going to get all of the Constitution, because I'm pretty awesome like that. And then, I'm going to spend an experience point and roll a dark rune. That's not good.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So I needed 6. Instead, I didn't get that.
No.
I got 3. So I'm going to unfortunately fail, which really hurts. But it is
You'll
what it
learn
is.
from it.
I'll learn some things. I get an experience point because this says I get an experience point. I get to draw a card because this is a good draw card. I'm going to choose hero cards because somebody has to represent the light on this side of the table. So I get 2 experience points, 1 for failing, 1 because it said I do, and then it goes away. Nobody will get captured again. So I'm going to draw a new card. And it's Distant Lands. Also, put these runes back.
I've always wanted my own street gang. And see, the funny thing is, y'all think I'm kidding.
Have you desired it?
I do desire
A
it.
street gang you've desired?
It is a street gang of desire.
That
It is a street gang named Desire.
I was going to a different place.
That's right. Well, see, I didn't tell y'all that my Outlander's name is Stella.
Oh.
All right, so I do not have any applicable skills, by the way.
You just really
Take
want
over
it.
this street gang. I just really want it. It is crazy to me that strength, by the way, the little yellow sword, is not part of this at all. You need charisma and the
Intelligence.
blue magic one. So intelligence.
You're
Is there a
smarter
street
than the
gang
leader.
card that you could point to? I don't know.
It is this card. It is right here.
Thank
And
you.
it asks for these 2, and I have none of those. But I have core runes, and I've already spent an experience point to get
A dark
a
rune.
dark rune because indeed I did that.
It's possible. It can be done.
It can't be done.
But are you going to outwit a gang boss?
No, I'm going to take
You're
over
going to take
a
over
gang.
a gang.
Over the
Okay.
gang.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
I'm not going to take over the gang.
That's okay.
That's not going to happen at all. What I am going to do is draw an anti-hero card for you, please. Thank you.
And,
Yeah, see? Outwit.
Oh, I like that.
and could you let just the camera see it? You don't have to show the other players.
But
Conspicuously looking away.
There we go.
There
Look.
it
Now we know what
is.
you got.
look at
All
this
right.
wall.
Okay. Now that we've done that specifically for our audience following along at home, I shall collect my experience point for my learning when not to try and take over the gang out.
Oh,
Okay.
so this will get discarded.
That does get discarded.
And I
Sadly,
will
no
reveal
one
your
can
card.
have their own street gang.
Okay, and fourth, go ahead.
Vengeful. You may only gain this card if you have 2 dark side points or more.
So that's corruption. There's
2
a,
corruption points
there's a
or
word
more.
for that.
Dun dun dun.
Okay.
Madeleine.
Okay, so brave hunter that is secretly royalty and is brave and a natural leader, still in Act 1.
Your story's a slow burn. It's
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the rebellious trait. And since it's a trait, I do not need to roll for it. So you may only gain this if you gain 1 moon or spend an experience point, and I am spending an experience point.
Point spent.
Okay, I'm sticking it underneath my
Alright.
stack.
A rebellious secret princess, natural leader who hunts.
Brave hunter.
Brave hunter.
Mighty hunter.
It
She's-
writes itself.
She's much too brave to follow the rules.
I want to reveal the next card.
That's just like her royal streak.
Yeah.
Natural leader.
Go ahead.
It is a missing person.
Cool.
Yep.
But instead of that, I'm gonna go encounter this savage beast over here. The
Ooh.
missing person can stay missing. I'm super not worried about them.
They'll be fine.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
Well,
They'll
at
be
least
good.
they won't encounter the savage beast.
Yeah,
good.
that's
We're
what
gonna take
it's a
that
public service that I'm doing. I'm taking
You're
care
helping.
of the savage beast, and I'm going to commune with nature, I guess. I'm on a de-escalation kick right now for the last 5 years. Okay, so I need the core rooms. If you'd be so kind, thank you so much. I have 1 green wisdom, which I can reach myself, so that's okay. And then I also need 3 purple charisma crowns.
There you go.
Which
You're
is
so
my
charismatic.
It's purple charisma crowns is my Prince cover band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. I need, how many do I need? I need 4. Excellent. I'm gonna say it counts. Whatever it is, it counts. What is it, Madeleine?
It's 1.
This one is. Does that count? Is that counted?
That's cocked.
Okay.
It's real hard to cock these flat tiles, but you did it.
Okay. It's
Okay.
one.
And there's 1 on the floor.
Sorry, that was the worst thing to do, and I apologize, Tech. Okay. And the one on the floor was 1 success?
Yes.
Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I get to draw a card, and I'm gonna switch it up and get an anti-hero card.
Ooh.
Okay. And then I've got the triangle, which means I also get to draw an anti-hero card. So that's neat. And I communed with nature successfully.
Excellent.
Okay. That sworn protector of myself. Anybody wants to come fight me, they gotta get through me first.
All right.
I think that's my turn.
Okay, well, then I'll reveal the next card.
Give me just a second.
Unreveal it. Unreveal it.
It's a daring heist.
Okay, well,
Daring.
before you had my attention, but now you have my interest.
All right. So, as a settler who's resisted temptation and defended my homestead while foraging for food, I think I'm going to distant lands, because that's what settlers do. So,
Get unsettled.
I'm going to go to these distant lands, and I'm going to discover the unknown. So, it is an intelligence and constitution check. I've got a lot of those.
You have all the constitution, sir. You have the
I'm also going to have a glorious victory.
Can you move that further to your left? There you go. And I'm getting tons of light on that. Can you tilt? There you go. Sweet. Thank you.
I
Tell
got
me
you,
about
man.
this card.
So, glorious victory. If I overcame... Oh, I should wait to use this, I guess.
You have to have overcome
Yeah,
the
I have to
challenge.
overcome a victory. I'm not actually using this because I can read.
reading is fundamental.
Reading is fundamental. Alright. I don't have any other things to play. So, I've got to get a 4.
You did.
1, 2... I got more than 4.
Okay.
Because I'm the settler, and I got the shield, I get to get 1 experience. And because I rolled an experience, I get to get an experience. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, I tell you that it was a glorious victory. If I overcame a challenge this turn without using dark runes, and your result exceeds the difficulty by at least 2, I gain 3 victory tokens.
Those are experience points.
3 experience tokens.
Experience gems.
Glorious. Somebody says that, right? Who is that?
I don't know. Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's a show where somebody says it, though.
I don't know.
Okay.
I believe you, but
Yeah, I don't know.
This show.
I said it.
Apparently.
it just happened.
Oh, Gloria says onward. My bad. His name's Gloria. He doesn't say glorious.
No, that would be weird.
Who says glorious?
You do.
It's a DG thing. I know it is. All right. Well,
Someone's gonna Google.
yeah, somebody's going to Google it. I get the card. I've discovered the unknown. And now I'll reveal the other card.
Oh wait, no.
And I will not sing Frozen 2.
You could, though. It is inventive. You may only gain this card if you have 1 intelligence and 1 dexterity, or you spend 2 experience tokens.
Thank you.
I don't need any of that because I'm vengeful. And the way that one can qualify to get the vengeful token is to have 2 of these corruptions.
Corruptions.
The moon or more. And I am indeed sitting at 4 of those.
You have them.
I have
Well,
them.
you're sitting at 2 because you are 2 ranks down.
So
Those are the points towards your eventual murderous victory that you would get at the end of the game if this slider was on that level.
okay. Well, as it stands, I have plenty of vengeance for my sole survivor outlandership.
Did you catch that, Ben?
Yeah.
Who
Okay.
has crushed my rival because it was vengeance.
All right. Well, I'm gonna reel the next card.
So that would be a. Woo! Give me a second. Go ahead.
Aww. And it is the Frozen Peak.
I think I.
Tell me about this card.
Well, it's the Frozen Peak.
It's frozen.
It's really cold.
You can
Pointy
either climb to the summit or find lost wisdom as the 2 options for this card. It's 5 to win it, and it requires a lot of constitution and wisdom.
You gotta know which way to go, survive
Yeah.
that harsh cold.
Yeah.
And remember, the summit is only halfway.
Remember, really?
You gotta get back down.
You can't just live up there forever.
Summit is
You
a halfway.
could, but
Oh,
you're
well.
dead.
It really probably depends on how good you are.
It's real cold and peaky.
And yeah.
The turn is yours, Madeleine.
Okay, so I have 3 things under my hunter now. I can
Mhm.
finally move on to Act 2.
Welcome.
So I'm a
One of us.
rebellious secret royalty brave hunter who is a natural leader. So
You can't see that.
I am going to go for the Frozen Peak. I'm going to attempt to climb to the summit. So I am going to roll the 3 base.
Oh yeah, we're all hoarding the runes over here.
It's called the Seattle Freeze Merc, not the cold shoulder.
Ah. It's
Well,
true.
see, I think it's gonna turn out that
It's
she's
true.
secretly
Queen Elsa is what's happening here. Climbing on top of
The
that.
really
I-
cold shoulder.
I might have a theme going. That's okay. Okay, and so I
Oh.
am not able to add these guys because they don't apply to the card. So yeah,
Did you add your Frozen Peak? What are you doing?
I'm climbing to the summit.
So you added your
Oh.
one wisdom?
Oh no, I did not. Thank you for reminding me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I
Did you add your dexterity?
No, because you don't get that.
No, because I was looking at the wrong card. Don't mind me.
Done and done.
I wish I could. Okay, let's see if I get really lucky. No,
No.
I did not get really lucky. But I do get to pull a hero or an anti-hero card. And yeah. I'm going to go for a hero card.
Hero card.
So,
So
and I get an experience because I learned from my mistakes after failing.
you climbed a little bit, realized too cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't climb every mountain.
So I'm gonna reveal the next card.
Go okay?
And it's Roving Bandits.
I'm not excited about roving bandits.
know.
It's not my kind of crime.
And I can't take over the roving bandits.
But you guys could fight them. You could repel a bandit attack.
I mean, you're not wrong, but instead, I'm going to go for some low-hanging Act 1 fruit
Mm.
and encounter, mysteriously, a raging inferno,
Raging.
which is raging,
It's so angry.
and I'm going to heal the wounded.
Oh, well, that's nice
Yeah,
of you.
I'm pretending to be a good person to
Right.
cover up my crimes. So I don't have any constitution, but I do have 2 wisdom. So if I get 2 green wisdom tokens, one's still here for when Madeleine was using them because she didn't put the runes away.
Rude?
It's
Sharon?
actually good because like they were still available for me. So I appreciate that Madeleine's a team player and didn't get under the bus I just tried to throw her under.
What the?
So that's something that should be noted, is that even though Sharon is on Act 2, she can go to Act 1 to gain more runes. Also, if somebody else is on a higher act, you can attempt those higher acts. It just makes it really hard.
Yeah, like I just did.
Exactly. Just like that.
Okay, rolling now.
Do it.
Doing it.
Make it so.
It's 4, and I get a card, and I want an anti-hero card. Ooh.
Rude.
Yeah. So, I successfully healed the wounded. That was not a sentence, for which I apologize. And I'm gonna. I did the bottom one, so I get to put it under there. Yeah.
So if you see on camera, each one allows you to put it under. That way you could read the story that way.
Okay.
I'm going to reveal the next card for Act 1.
And get the runes back.
I'm standing all the time.
Go ahead.
And it is Restless Spirit.
So are you able to look up at the TV and see how when the camera's there and ready?
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, this is helping tremendously, announcing it, giving me a chance to find it, and then you can see when it's time to turn.
Okay.
All right, moving on.
All right. So I've got a lot of things under my belt now. Pretty smart. Pretty constitution. So I believe it is time for me to, I think I'm going to be inventive. I thought about it, figured out it's probably a good thing. So I'm going to spend 2 experience points because I don't have any dexterity. So I'm going to become inventive.
Alright. And so next time, if you pointed out a hell of a lot earlier, the
Gotcha. As I say it, I can point to it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, there we
Yep.
go.
So I'm going to become inventive. I've got a sweet jewel thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing some other stuff. And that will allow me to draw a hero card.
Which one do you want?
It has to be
A hero card.
Hero.
Wait, is it
Sorry.
hero? No, I'm stupid.
Anti-hero.
It's an anti-hero card.
Okay.
I'm dumb.
Good.
My bad.
Isn't that just the anti-hero thing to do?
It is. Lie about it. So I'm going to reveal a card.
Okay.
And it's a tragic loss. So if you have lost a challenge this turn, you can spend 1 experience point to gain that instead. Which, if you happen to be losing some challenges, may be helpful. I'm not saying any names.
Can you spend the experience point that you got from failing the challenge?
I'm going to say no.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, it's possible, but that's a FAQ/errata question. Amanda, the turn is yours.
It is indeed my turn, and I am salivating over that tragic loss card, but I have indeed not lost a challenge this turn because
We can do that.
I took a no rolly McRoll the dice
Mm.
approach last time, and so I can't have it. I want it, and I can't have it, and that makes me sad. But sadness sometimes is the path to enlightenment.
I see.
And I have these little fellows down there that qualify me to become enlightened.
Oh.
The wisdom and strength.
You vengeful, enlightened soul survivor, you.
Listen, I know what I'm up to. It is all very deliberate evil.
Ah. There's a reason and a purpose. We don't understand it. You have that enlightened vision.
I do. I am very enlightened. I know exactly what I'm doing.
All right.
Y'all might not like it, but I know.
I'm gonna reveal a card.
Okay. Well, I can't see.
It is the Vault of Secrets, in which you can either unlock a secret vault or learn forgotten lore. Madeleine.
All right. So when they say lost a challenge this turn, that is if I went for a challenge and I did not get it that time.
Yes.
I
This
can go for
specific
that
time
card
right
instead.
now.
Okay.
Yes.
So I am going to go for repel a bandit attack.
Mm-hmm.
And that involves, so I've got the core runes, and then it involves a strength and a dexterity. And I need 5 to succeed on repelling a bandit
You
attack.
can do it.
I did not do
I
it.
lied.
So I get to pull a hero card, or an anti-hero card as
Your
well.
choice.
I'm going to choose a hero card, and then I will spend an experience point to get the tragic loss.
What did you lose?
The
This
challenge.
Repel a bandit.
How tragic
Yeah,
was it?
yes.
What did these bandits do to you?
One of my group I was leading.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
As a
So-
leader, you take that hard. It makes sense.
And then I'm putting it underneath my Act 2 section of my...
And at the end of her turn, I have a harsh lesson anti-hero card. If any hero failed the challenge this turn, I get to gain an experience
That sounds great.
token. So I want it.
You get an experience for that.
Delightful.
Isn't
Because you failed to repel the bandit attack, you've also learned a thing or two about fighting some bandits. So this will go away. And I'm going to reveal 2 cards this time. Alright, so it's solve a murder mystery, where you can either solve it, or you conceal the horrible things you've done. Not calling anyone out here. Just saying. And then the other one is guard duty, where you can either watch over the city or catch a criminal. The turn is yours, Sharon.
Yeah, it
does,
is.
Max. It does.
Okay. I'm tempted by the murder mystery, but is a sentence. But I think I have the ruse to pull it off, and I just talked myself into it. And I am going to conceal my crimes.
Ooh,
Because I want that extra intelligence rune
that makes sense.
real bad. So that's what we're going to do. So I have the core runes, and then I have 3 green wisdom runes, and 1 blue intelligence rune, and I need 6. And I got 6. And a hero card.
Excellent.
So that's cool. So I got that. And a murder mystery. Concealed my crimes after I communed with nature. See, this other, I'm pretending to be a good person.
You're pretending really well.
Nobody suspects me when I commit a murder mystery.
When you were communing
Allegedly.
with nature, did that involve digging a 6-foot hole? Perhaps.
Me and a friend. It was communal.
Mother Nature is an accomplice.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Sounds like a plan.
Definitely.
Alright, so I'm going to reveal the next card. And that is a desert caravan.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
It's not murder, it's composting.
you can
Thank you,
either
Max.
survive a harsh journey or earn a vast fortune. Which, they both sound good to me. That being said, I think that I'm gonna go on this desert caravan. I've heard good things.
About desert
Yeah,
caravans.
desert caravans. They're like, hey man, come on. I heard you're a settler. You should go do this. And that makes perfect sense. So, you get the core runes. It is a constitution challenge, so I get all the constitution. It's also a charisma challenge, which I'm not that good at. So, I think I'm going to spend an experience, just 1 though, not 2, to gain a dark rune.
Ooh.
So,
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I did that. Because I got my 4. And because I'm the settler, I get to gain 1 experience. Because I revealed some shields. So now, I've earned a vast fortune.
Not that it matters, but Merc is right, it is 8.
I
One
can
on the
count. I can't count. You're right, Merc, my bad. I was thinking about other things. Mostly this vast fortune. So, I'm going to reveal the next card. I hope it's good.
Sharon stole my murder.
It is Rags to Riches. If you've lost a challenge this turn, you can spend 1 to gain this, Madeleine. I'm not saying anyone in particular.
Except
I'm
that you
saying-
just
I'm saying
did.
someone in
You
particular.
just did.
Said that.
I'm trying not to call it. I did. I'm
did,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Madeleine. That's my apologies.
Okay.
I intend not to be a jerk.
Apology accepted.
I'm going to unlock a secret vault
Ooh.
because Sharon stole my murder.
And where is that card?
That card is right here in the Vault of Secrets. I am choosing to unlock it instead of learning anything.
So the
Knowledge is
vault-
overrated.
The vault is a secret, and it is also full of secrets.
Those things are true. I also have that.
The artwork in this game is really nice, by the way.
Very
And
pretty.
this one,
Darkness.
if I have experience points, that's what I'm gonna do.
That's
like,
where they
y'all-
go.
This is why you have them.
Darkness, darkness, darkness.
Darkness! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have unlocked a secret vault. Not only do I gain just a little bit of dexterity, I also get an anti-hero card, pretty please.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Nice.
You
All right. And
also-
I will also be moving on to Act 3.
You
Yes,
also
I
get to move your corruption meter.
Oh, I
down.
do. I do.
So corrupt.
I don't even get points for it anymore.
Nope. So corrupt.
Wah, wah. Only
So I'm going to
heroes.
reveal the next card.
Okay.
And it is criminal. You can only gain that if you have a face symbol or spend 1 experience point.
Huh.
Oh, I have face symbol.
Neat.
You have a face symbol.
I have a face as well.
I have no face.
I have been trained as a spy and have many faces.
Ooh.
But are any of them on your cards? Is that...
Oh, yeah.
So many faces.
Oh yeah, there too.
All right. So, as a brave hunter that is secretly royalty and rebellious, who had a tragic loss and is a natural leader.
This is like the 12 days of Christmas, right? Like, more and more ridiculous.
Yeah.
I am going to do guard duty.
Okay.
And I'm going to watch over the city.
That's very nice of you.
Yes. So,
Yes.
I need 4 to succeed.
You need
So,
these ones.
Roll the regular wounds, and then a
So many borks of working.
Madeleine, you're Rambo Snow White.
Don't tell.
I accept.
I need this cosplay out of you in time for Emerald City. That's what I need.
Oh.
No.
I just imagine just first
No.
blood, the red headband.
Yeah. You can't be
So-
Rambo without the red headband.
Yeah,
It's
that's what
iconic.
will let you know it's Rambo.
So before I attempt this challenge, I am playing a hero card called Divine Favor. There we go. I'm going to play this before my attempt to add a wisdom or a charisma, which I'm going to add my wisdom. So I'm going to discard that. And now I will attempt. Oh, I can add my dexterity too. Sorry. Okay, I need 5.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yay! Okay, so 4, 5, I already got it. And then I have, if I overcome this challenge, another hero card. Oops. Sorry. If I overcome this challenge this turn without using dark runes and your result exceeds the difficulty by 2, which it does, I gain 3 experience points from this.
Nice.
And I'm going to grab guard duty and stick it under my act.
You're also a hunter.
Yes. Oh, which if I get a dexterity little face and a wisdom face, I gain a experience, so I get 4 total this round.
4 total.
All right.
Alright, so I'm going to reveal the next card.
Go ahead.
And it is a perilous dungeon,
Okay.
where you can either delve into darkness or escape with treasure.
Well,
Treasure's always great.
yeah, I do like treasure, though, but
Aren't you a criminal, though?
that's like a necessary feature for liking treasure. But I also I want more hero cards in general. So I'm actually going to go back to that person who's been missing for like a really long time up here on in Act 1. That person that we forgot about and is now basically an Easter egg. Yeah, and I'm not even gonna find a lost child. I'm just gonna climb to safety.
That's all you need.
I'm gonna go find them, make sure they're okay, say hi, and leave.
But like without even realizing that was the person that was on the milk carton.
Yeah.
Hi, peace. How you doing?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And just to make this like genuinely ridiculous,
It wasn't already?
No.
genuinely, it was fakely ridiculous before, but now I'm gonna play Parting of the Ways. Discard and replace one revealed challenge or trait. I'm going to discard criminal.
She just doesn't want anyone else to be a criminal.
Okay.
I'm going to reveal it.
Okay. I don't know why you're doing it now instead of at the
Okay.
at the end of the turn.
In case you want to do it.
Okay. Well, no, I'm going to continue being a total jerk to this board.
Sounds good. Be a jerk.
And because I'm going to play another Parting of the Ways, because it doesn't say that I can only play one.
It's true.
Yeah. And I am going to eliminate the Pearls Dungeon. If I don't get treasure, nobody gets treasure. But I do get +2 to my next challenge to find the missing person. So I need the 3 core runes.
You have to find the missing person and leave them there.
And then leave them there. Just check in, make sure they're good.
You're still good in the bottom of that well?
And then I need
right.
all 3 green wisdom runes.
There you go.
And I don't have any strength, so fair enough.
Nor have you strength of character, young
I'm the sworn protector of myself. Me first. I win super hard.
You did it.
Wow. Yeah.
I left that child behind with aplomb. All right, so I got this missing person card.
Excellent.
Climb to safety. It is going to go underneath. See, all my good people stuff is on the bottom. I healed the wounded.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's not really that good that I left somebody in the woods. But I do get a hero card, so that's nice.
And you did that all without dark runes, so those hero cards still do you some good.
Yeah, I can see. This is how I pretend I'm a good person. It's with this hand of shiny light blue cards, and that's it. All right.
So I've got a lot of stuff to reveal.
Indeed.
So we're going to start with the Act 1. And that is studious. You can only gain that if you have 1 intelligence, which is the wand thing, or spend an experience point. And then on the next row, for some Act 2 cards, there's honorable, which you can only gain if you have one of those little crown things, or you spend 1 experience. And then last but not least, another Act 2 card is Trench Warfare, where you can either lead an attack or tend to the injured. They're both good people type of things. But now it's my turn, and I'm ready to move on to Act 3, everyone.
Do it.
So, I'm still a settler who's resisting temptation, defending my homestead, foraging for food, I'm lucky. There's a lot of stuff I got going on in my life. So as I reveal them, it's a heroic rescue, a dark revelation,
Ooh.
a dragon's hoard, we know how much we all like
Hey.
treasure, a force of nature, or the Assassin's Guild.
Huh.
So, indeed.
Fascinating.
I'm not good at any of those things. So, instead, I'm going to do something we haven't done, which
Okay.
is I'm going to go on a journey.
Okay.
So if I'm going on a journey, I can spend 1 experience token to get rid of any card and replace it. So because I know some of the people here, I think I'm going to get rid of the Dark Revelation and reveal a new card.
Dang it.
And that card is the Sword of... Okay, Sword of Darkness is still just as bad. Cool. That's great.
Frying pan looks awful cozy right now.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I guess instead of doing those things, I'm going to go to the Daring Heist.
Oh, make fun of us for being criminals. I see.
It's daring. That means... Yeah, that's all I got. It's still heist.
It's coded as a good guy heist
Yeah,
because you're
it's
stealing
coded.
from the rich. You've got little
Exactly.
justice scales at the top.
Yeah, justice
And you can
scales.
optionally also give to the poor.
I could. I'm not going
But
to.
that takes an additional success, so.
So I'm going to use a surprise attack. And I get to play this before I attempt a challenge, and I get to add 1 strength for 1 dexterity. I'm going to add 1 dexterity.
Seeing as that is the applicable route to the challenge.
That's
then
the one.
That's the thing that makes the sense.
So,
Look at you making sense over there.
now I'm making a whole lot of dollars because I'm stealing from the rich.
I ain't giving to
Oh,
no
yeah.
Give it to no one.
More money,
I
more
also have
problems.
1 purple, 1 charisma. And I need 5 total. You know we're going to be getting a dark
you
rune
do.
up in here.
What?
Alright. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I do succeed.
But at what cost?
But at what cost? Now, because I'm born lucky, I don't want to get 1 dark rune, so I'm going to use my born lucky ability, which is to spend 1 experience point to flip this over. So then, I get to steal from the rich.
And keep it.
And keep it. Should I forget this goes here?
Nope.
Act two.
Act 2. Thank you, everyone.
We're all like, you're not getting ahead.
I'm not cheating.
You're not getting ahead.
But I get a anti-hero card.
There you go.
And then I will reveal this next Act 2 card.
The last Act 2 card.
I am not innocent. I like it. It is inspiring. You can only gain it if you have a wisdom and a charisma, or you spend 2 experience points. Putting all these back. The turn is yours.
As the sole surviving outlander who has learned to fight dirty in a place of power, has crushed my rival with my vengeful yet enlightened spirit, and has then unlocked a secret vault. My next move is going to be to take over the Assassin's Guild.
No.
Yes.
Because of course it is. All right, now let's see. I need 5, 6, 7. I get these little shit one. I add 2 of those. 1, 2. There we are. And I get these little core rune guys. Okay, that's in here. And then I also get an automatic +1 success for every little black diamond, and there are 1, 2, 3 of those.
Well then,
Wow.
So, come on, 3 successes.
I think you can do it.
Oh, I did
Yeah.
it! Huzzah! I have taken over the Assassin's Guild. It's
Yay.
mine now. Hey, I mean, I wanted a gang. I got a guild. I have to pay them a little better, but I'm still very much in charge.
It's all about working up that ladder.
Right. I do enjoy
Oh,
my
that's
life.
gonna happen, Mark. We're gonna mad gad all of our sweet story at the end.
That's not a thing I'm good at, so it's...
You're pretending to be a good person.
Yeah, I can also pretend to be a decent storyteller, but
See?
that's not going to make it true.
So I'm gonna reveal the next Act 3 card. And it is the Queen's Chambers.
Oh, hi.
Interesting.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
Where you could win her favor. Or you could unseat her. You know, your choice.
just either one.
Well, I mean,
Throw out of a chair.
this one is a natural leader and secretly royal.
Yeah, I think
so
that
if
makes
she
perfect
wants
sense.
a throne. There is one.
You can do it. Rapunzel, Snow White, which one were you?
I may or may not have an ultimate goal.
It's the one in a coup, but I'm not actually going to say one myself.
Okay, so I see Studious up here on Act 1, and since I don't have any intelligence, and I feel like after a tragic loss and contemplating my actions, watching over the city, I feel like it's time for me to sit down, gain knowledge, self-reflection, and I'm going to spend an experience to gain Studious for Act 1. If I can get it under there. There we go.
Alright, and this is the last Act 1 card.
Alright, here we go.
Adventurous! You can only gain this if you have some constitution or spend an experience point.
Okay. But instead of that, just alternatively, I think that after all this that I've been doing, that I am actually pretty inspiring.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Because I actually have 3 wisdom and 3 purple crowns. So I'm just gonna take this.
That sounds good.
This is just gonna be mine now. I'm an inspiring sworn protector of myself.
I'm inspiring you that child you left in the woods.
I inspired them by example to succeed as I have.
You probably told them it gets better,
By
and then
kicking
just
somebody else down into the woods where they were.
Okay. And we have no more Act 2 cards, so I can't even replace it. So
All right.
instead, I'm going to go to the Queen's Chambers.
Yeah, you are.
Where's that?
That was your goal.
Right over here in the corner. It was hard to see. I got there. And I thought about winning her favor. I really did.
You're gonna win the Queen's favor.
I thought about it, but instead, I made the fateful choice, which is an anti-hero card, to unseat her. So I'm going to unseat her, which normally is 7.
It's gonna be 8.
It's going to be 8, but my fateful choice at least gives me a +1, so I'll only still need 7.
Well, you get all of your theses.
I get all of my constitution,
And you get one of these.
get 1 purple one,
Alright, yeah, no, this is not
And I
looking
get the
like it's gonna be
course.
hard.
and then I'm also not going to risk anything. I'm going to get me one of them dark runes, because getting a dark rune sounds pretty nice.
Get you some of that darkness, Sugar Plum. Get it.
Alright,
Oh dear.
so, well, I still did it.
Oh dear.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I get to draw a card. And that card will be a hero card.
Ooh. Interesting.
Ben, you want me to reveal it?
Sure. Secrets!
Oh.
As I look directly.
Yeah, right?
There.
I didn't read
Ba-da-da.
Okay.
And then I will get my sweet, sweet unseating the queen. Now I'm the queen.
it. Yeah, you are.
I'll put all these back because I'm a respectable queen.
You got your one.
You can't
The turn is
But
your.
we do need to reveal
I do need to reveal another
card.
card.
I would like to know what my choice is. Your Majesty?
Indubitably. It is cursed. You can only gain this if you have more black diamonds, they're diamonds, in your story than light diamonds.
Be double black diamond.
Just gonna write just like that.
You
Just
can love
Please
stuff then.
hand me my 2 anti-hero cards.
sure.
2 of them.
There you go.
2 of them. I shall let the camera see.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
No, I don't think the
My bad.
camera saw it.
Mama likes.
Alright, so I'm going to reveal the next Act 3 card.
Okay.
And it is the Trial of the Magi.
Oh, really?
where you can either slay the Archmage or become the Archmage.
It really does seem to me that the one follows the other.
It does, because there's a power vacuum. Then you become an Archmage.
Or you could come with your own archmage that you want to be there instead.
Oh, that's true. You can
Put somebody else
put a
in power.
puppet Archmage in.
Well, this one, because becoming gives it that +1, makes it harder. I feel like at that point you actually may have to just talk him out of it. Be like, sir, I'm here to take your job, sir.
Yeah.
Please leave.
It has better insurance than my prior profession.
Okay. So, wow. There's not So, I think I am going to go for honorable.
Okay.
Because I can only gain this if I have 1 crown, which I actually have 2. Or spend an experience, which I don't need to do since I have a crown. Da-da-da.
You're right then.
There's still no Act 2 cards. So.
Yep.
Well, I want to get in on this Act 3 action. That was terrible.
You tried. And that's
I
what's
tried,
important.
and that's what counts. But the only thing that I'm really qualified for is this heroic rescue. So that's what we're doing,
Okay.
I guess. And I'm gonna go for the call for mercy. I'm gonna let people. Thank you, Ben.
She ain't too proud to beg.
Well, I like to interpret it as the other person, like person who's keeping my target rescuee captive is calling for mercy, and I'm gonna let them live.
I don't think that's how it works.
No, I'm not brave enough for mercy. Okay,
Trait I have.
so I need the core wounds. I don't have any dexterity, which might have made this a mistake, but I do have all of the purple charisma.
But wait,
rounds.
I'm going to tap into the darkness that Sharon possesses. And I'm going to play this as another hero is attempting a challenge. I'm going to choose 1 rune of a type I possess and remove it from their attempt.
Dude, harsh.
I've got some crown thingies.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Cool. Well, then I'm going to take one of your crown thingies.
Did you have a choice?
So I believe it takes away your tipping
special crown.
It is.
I want to
So,
give him
we'll
the
just-
special crown.
I'll look at it and say, this is what you had once.
Well,
As the queen, only I'm allowed crowns.
okay. Well,
you
I
could
am.
still.
Yeah, but I am going to turn to darkness instead, and I would like two dark runes, por favor. And here's in trade, have some plastic bits.
I do like some plastic bits.
Awesome. All right, so I need what is that? 6?
6.
Cool.
Yeah.
6.
You're not trying to actually save the people.
Ooh.
That is 6, and I'm going to draw a hero card, so I can feel better about myself. I go down in a thing, and
Corruption.
a corruption, thank you. And then I get the heroic rescue card,
You did it.
for which I get another hero card,
Ooh.
which I'm just going to put in the pile over there. Yeah, and so there we go.
Okay.
I observe somebody's call for mercy. I'm expanding my sworn protectorness to other people.
That's
so they
really
can
nice
also
of you.
be protected by my shockingly criminal and selfish nature.
They don't have to know about that.
It shows real growth.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to reveal the next Act 3 card. And it is Arcane. You can only gain this if you have an intelligence and wisdom, or if you've played 3 light person cards. 3 good. And 3 hero cards. That's the word, not light person. That's the one. Well then, the turn is mine, and I am. Do I have any wisdom?
Oh, thank you.
I'm not wise. So instead, I am thinking that I may go fight me an Archmage. I think that's really the best option here.
Are you gonna slay or become?
Is there a difference?
I mean,
In
On the card there is.
the
yeah.
result needed to get in the card there.
I think I'm going to. I'm gonna slay this Archmage. I'm gonna slay him right. So,
Slay.
Yeah,
Slay
slay.
queen.
So, it's intelligence, of which I have 3. So I get the 3 core rooms, and I get 3 intelligence. That's apparently my job, Marcus. That's what I'm gonna do. That's the new thing. Oh, authority figure? No, that's mine. You're dead.
It's like Skyrim.
So, it's,
Just go around and become the leader of everything. Yeah!
Chat.
what is this Skyrim? I should have become the Archmage instead, because I could be the Queen Archmage. But
You
here I
locked us
am.
down.
Here I am. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is enough to slay the Archmage.
No, it's not.
Oh no!
Oh no!
They must attempt it again? Oh, you wounded me. You've sabotaged me so.
Nice. So nice.
Well, then I'm glad I get to re-roll then. One, 2, 3, 4. But wait!
There's more.
I'm going to bend the rules. Play this during a challenge you're attempting. Choose 1 rune and flip it over. I want to choose this one.
Oh, that was kind oh, I guess it was.
Okay.
So I get 5, which means I did it. And I also get to draw a card. I'm going to go with the light,
The hero.
the hero card. So people got me saying dark side, light side.
It's my Star Wars pins. And my
So
Star
I've got
Wars
a card.
cards. I have. I love it.
I also get an extra card for slaying the Archmage.
Which has to be an anti-hero.
Has to be an anti-hero card.
There you go.
And I'll slide it under. This is the card I got. Oh, it makes sense.
No.
I can't focus it.
There.
Oh.
You're so close.
Easy to not look at it.
Yeah, move it around a little bit.
Yeah. The flatter the card is also.
There we go. Oh, no, my hands.
All right, moving on.
All right, moving on. So I'm gonna reveal the next Act 3 card,
Go ahead.
and it is Enter the Abyss.
I have a decision to make.
Are we not reading the top and bottom anymore?
Oh,
When-
I can do that.
Enters.
Okay.
It's been patchy and inconsistent.
It has.
What's
So
your
patchy.
What's your preference?
Fine, we'll do it. You can either journey to the underworld, or you can rescue a lost love.
I really do think some of these read like you do either half of the thing or the whole thing, and it's harder.
I'm just saying, Orpheus did both.
Almost.
He
Orpheus
rescued her.
Almost. It was like
Almost.
99% of a rescue and 1% of a failure.
Oh, hurtful.
Well, all right.
If you fail, you fail.
He almost did it.
The rules were very clear. I'm just saying. Hades is a very fair dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't really argue that. Hercules movie taught me so many things.
Oh.
Oh,
Dear.
I love that movie.
It's one of my best friend's
Okay.
favorites.
It's a really good movie.
The soundtrack is
Okay.
good.
It's a medium movie.
There's a lady at work whose name is Jill, and I call her Jillactides because it makes me laugh. Unfortunately, she has misheard me quite often,
Uh-huh.
and then I had to explain it all. And then she kind of chuckled. I stopped doing that.
You compared hang on. You compared a female coworker of yours to Danny DeVito
No.
and lived.
I didn't compare anything. I just said Jillactides.
Yeah, okay.
So what are you up to?
What I am up to. It's actually great that y'all have that little sidebar because
Yeah.
I had to think real hard about what I was going to do with my time, and I have decided that when I encounter the Sword of Darkness,
Okay.
I would like to attempt to wield the dark blade.
Interesting.
I'm shocked. I'm surprised And shocked.
And I don't have any little pointy McPoints to spend, so no darkness for me.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And I only got 3, and I needed 5, so that didn't happen. But indeed, any hero, and that includes me, failed a challenge this turn. I get a bonus.
Well,
So I now get 2 little 1, 2, which gives me darkness for next time.
Future darkness.
Huge.
unfortunately, now no one will be able
No
to
one can wield the
the
darkness.
sword of darkness.
If I can.
So I'm going to reveal the next
No
one.
one can.
And it is imprisoned, where you could plot your revenge or escape to freedom.
I do like revenge.
But I like freedom more.
But it's not either of our turns.
It's true. It's Madeleine's.
So, I've been thinking real hard. I became honorable. And now I think it's time for me to go adventuring. So I'm going to become adventurous
You're
by
so adventurous.
spending a experience token and sticking it under my Act 1 because, you know, I like developing myself before moving on in my story.
Okay. I'm going to continue in my quest to own all of the green wisdom tokens that there are,
That
and
sounds like a good
I'm going to
quest.
go to some trench warfare
Oh.
to tend to the injured. I previously healed the wounded in the Blazing Inferno. I got a taste for being a good person, and I'm going to go... No. And I'm going to go back and do that. So I need the core runes. And then I also need 3 green wisdom runes. And I only have 1 sword, so I only need 1 of those. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
5 successes.
Oh!
How do you do these things?
What?
How do you keep...
I'm gonna need that born lucky card. I need it now. Okay, so I'm gonna draw a card. I'm gonna draw a hero card.
So,
Uh-oh.
as you were in the trench warfare,
Battle!
the Dark Lord's champion approaches you.
Yeah.
So play after another hero has attempted a challenge.
Uh-huh.
They must attempt it again.
Uh-huh.
And now it has +1.
The challenge does?
Yes, it does.
Okay, well, I'm going to play Unlikely Alliance and choose another hero to gain 1 goodness thing, anti-corruption or whatever. And I get to add your runes to my next challenge.
I have a lot of not those things.
But you got to have some of these things, and also, I'm irked. I am gonna put this card back because I didn't earn it.
That's fair.
I was just stealing. That's just my nature. So if you have any strength or wisdom,
I have 0.
none. Seriously, did I just completely waste that card? Perfect. Wonderful.
And now you need 6.
I believe in you.
Well,
Did you interpret this?
this is it's a very near win.
Yeah.
This is
So lost.
it's a loss. It's binary. So that right there is 5 because the runes themselves are 2. And then each slash is 1. The special symbols on the 3rd rune of each kind grants you 0 successes. Instead, you get, in my case, a hero card. So, consolation prize, I suppose.
The one you just put back, so it was right there.
You earned it.
Yeah, and then I get another hero card because I won it, I guess. And yeah, that's it. That's how that went.
Wow.
Bold move.
But you also get an experience point because trench warfare happened.
Well, all right, but I'll threaten you later.
That's fair. That's fair.
Here's the
Uh-oh.
cards like this. All right.
So,
We're at your arch highness.
I am going to look at some things. I am thinking about... With
Yeah, he's just doing it.
I'm thinking about doing some force of nature things, but when it really comes down to it, I don't do a lot. So I'm just instead gonna go on a sweet, sweet journey. So I'm gonna journey away from this force of nature
Oh,
Which
that's
will,
too bad. I was thinking about enslaving that poor
I-
spirit on my next turn.
I thought about it, and I wanted it to be free. So I'm going to reveal the next one, which is the Army of the Dead.
Yeah, okay.
So that's a thing.
Yep.
Instead of those, though...
I like it's pray for deliverance or survive the horde. There is no command option.
So scary. I am going to I'm going to be imprisoned because I did overthrow the queen and kill the archmage. It makes sense that they're throwing me in jail. And so I'm going to plot my revenge. And so I get the courtrooms.
Those are not the court.
Which are not those, but
I
he
know.
does get all the red ones.
I was
too.
going to get
Okay.
all the Constitution as well.
He gets all the red ones.
He's narrating out of order.
I
He's
am.
picking up runes in medias res.
Yeah. And then I have 1 dexterity, so I got that 1 dexterity point.
You're just flipping the board over here.
And while it doesn't do anything, I'm going to deny the darkness of my revenge because it's justified, which is going to give me 1 light thing. So I'm going to roll, and I need to get 6.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Do it again.
There we go.
Sabotage.
I just want the darkness.
But that doesn't count because it didn't go with the other ones in the right spot.
He rolls better. He totally rolled better.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I did it. Because I'm the settler, I get 1 experience points because it revealed a shield. And this one tells me to get another experience points. So now I have 2 experience points, and I'm plotting my revenge. Now, this is the 3rd card under my 3rd act. So now, we get 1 more turn, Sharon?
You don't get one more
I don't
turn.
get 1 more turn.
You're done.
I'm
Everyone
done.
else
My
gets-
story is over for now until I tell it and let you know what happened.
Oh,
Cool.
I guess.
But everyone else gets 1 more turn. And I'm going to reveal this next card. And it is Divine Calling, in which case you can be the Champion of Light or the Servant of Darkness.
Oh, that's what I want to be. Oh, yeah, that is exactly what I want to be.
Do it.
Okay. So, to begin with, as I'm going to be the Servant of Darkness, right here. Make sure the camera sees. All right. It is difficulty 5, and I get to use the green one, of which I have all of them, in addition to the standard face runes that we all get. Yeah, put those
And I'll put things away now that I remember.
And the darkness. Servant of darkness. Oh, that's
Oh, wow.
just
Oh,
fine.
wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Lots of darknesses.
So much
this
darkness.
is mine now. I am I get an anti-hero card.
Ooh.
Pretty please. Well, all right. I didn't need that, but I have it anyhow. All right. And now I, too, have completed all 3 acts of my story.
All right. You've earned yourself 1 corruption as well because you're sweet, sweet moon.
That's all right.
And I'm going to reveal another Act 3 card.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, something.
King's Council. You could either advise the king or you could claim the crown.
So you could be the king and he could be the queen and it would just be jolly with the infighting.
Jolly is a word for that.
Ah, how jolly.
So,
I'm regretting it so hard, Mark.
You want to be the king and the queen?
I want to be the king and the queen and the archmage. Well, no, not the
You
archmage.
want to hold every office in the land.
I want so
Listen
many
here,
hats.
Donald.
so I'm gonna finally advance to Act 3
Yeah!
because it is something that if I don't do it now, I won't get to do it. So I am going to Army of the Dead. I'm going to pray for deliverance.
All right.
So I need 7 to succeed,
And so I've got base runes, and then so I get the tokens that I've got on my traits cards. So get that. Get 1 strength, 1 wisdom, 1 constitution, 1 intelligence. Right?
What is this? What are you?
What? What are you
What?
doing?
What are you
Am I
doing?
doing this wrong? If I've been thinking about how
I
to
think
play this
so,
game
yeah.
wrong,
What are you
you
doing?
get.
But only these ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
There
red
we
ones,
go.
and you can do red ones and green ones.
It's,
and
it's not a
black
party
ones.
platter. You
I
You know I
have
want
been
to see-
misunderstanding.
It's late. It's been a long
Yeah.
day.
It's been a long day.
I promise I have been playing this game
You have been.
for
You've
yeah.
You've also been playing it right the
So
Yeah, up
For the
till
rest of-
right
up
now.
until right
okay. So I've got 2 wisdom and then constitution. Okay.
Yeah.
And I need 7 to pray for deliverance.
Pray.
Hey, that's
That's-
almost.
So close.
Sorry, I was really excited about that for a second.
Can I? No.
I would
No.
sabotage you and make you go again, but I'm out of sabotage cards.
Could be the friendliest sabotage.
Well,
Friendly
that
sabotage is my
that
cover
that
band.
that.
It's a
Yeah.
Beastie Boys cover band, right?
Indeed.
Awesome.
So there's that I didn't succeed. So I get an experience,
It's true.
Ew.
And experiences count.
and I get another one since I'm a hunter, and I got a wisdom
Excellent.
face thing. So
Okay.
So unfortunately, nobody's gonna deal with this Army of the Dead. They're gonna go do their own thing, and that's fine. We're gonna reveal another Act 3
And that's
card.
fine now.
That's fine. That's our
That's
life.
fine.
They're
Army
gonna go
of the
bother
Dead.
some other game.
Now,
Yeah.
there's a decisive battle, though, and you can either duel the enemy general, or you can sacrifice your army.
Okay, but instead, I'm going to go to the King's Council and I'm
Sounds
going to advise the king.
So,
Yeah.
okay. You don't want to claim the crown?
No, only mean people do that.
I done seen it. I did nothing of claiming.
Yeah.
Oh,
If-
wait, so
if
we're leaderless now. You unseated the queen and you didn't actually take her job?
Oh, well, if I don't have to be married to you, then okay.
Hurtful.
I'm
God.
sorry.
oh wow, what a way to end it there.
Yeah,
That's not okay, and I apologize. I like being married to you in real life.
Thank you, Pax.
Okay.
I need more burn emojis, because that...
Oof.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna keep playing this game now. Yeah. We drove separately, so
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
it's okay.
You guys will
I
have
have
time
more
to
than
think
3
about what you've done.
charisma, and I
She will
have.
have time. I did nothing.
You made me lose that one thing earlier in the game,
And it was
and that's
glorious.
equivalent. No, no.
That's the one who holds grudges against my husband for things on the game board all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so I need. What do I need? 7. To be honest, I didn't even look at how hard this was.
And is advising
To
king
claim,
is
advising is 7. Yeah.
Okay.
Claiming the crown is 8.
I don't want to claim the crown, regardless.
7.
I mean, crowns are
It's
heavy.
just not safe anymore. But that's 7.
It's true.
So I win. I don't know if I win,
You
but I do the
advise.
thing. I advise.
You
I give
advise.
okay advice as long as it's not about relationships. We're okay.
It actually doesn't say, like, advise the king
No,
No.
no, it just says advise the king. Okay?
Yeah.
So I get my prize hero card,
Cool.
and then up here above my call for mercy, I advise the king.
Excellent.
Okay.
And that's the end of the game. So,
Alrighty.
Yay.
Do you want to do scoring, or do you guys want to tell stories first?
I think we should tell stories.
But should we reveal our epic
Oh, yeah,
destiny?
that's I guess that's because we
So-
can do that too.
Question: do I get to reveal it if I did not get any Act 3 cards?
Yeah, you have an
Okay.
epic
Yeah.
just because you didn't fulfill
You
it.
still get whatever
No.
points it gives you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, would you like to start? You started us off.
Okay, I will start. No one will be surprised that my epic destiny was as a cunning villain.
What?
I'm shocked.
Oh,
So
man.
surprising.
So yes, that has been my epic destiny all along, and I drew that card randomly. I didn't seek it out.
Really? Because you were standing in the corner before the stream going, how can I be a bad guy for
I
this
want to be
game?
evil.
It's always better to be evil.
I didn't actually say that. It's true. Villains are my brand, but I drew the villain. The villain card chose me.
Uh-huh.
It was fated. An epic fate.
It was an epic fate.
Or you could say it was destiny.
Well, that's right. It's destiny cards, not fates.
Nope.
Oh, Madeleine.
Oh, mine? Yes. I was hero of destiny.
Hold
At
that
the...
up for the camera.
Oh.
Look on the screen and you'll see it.
Nope,
Oh.
turn it.
Ah,
Yeah,
there we
that's
go.
the camera.
Hero of destiny. At the end of the game, if I have one of each, I gain 9.
That's a lot.
That's
Yeah.
actually quite a lot, yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
There we go.
So I was the High Arcanist.
Ooh.
Yeah, and at the end of the game, I gain 1 triumph point for each intelligence or wisdom that I have, and an additional triumph point for each remaining hero card in my hand.
Man, you have a lot of those cards.
I do.
You've been playing this game well.
Possibly. We'll find
We'll
out
find out.
when we get to the super fun math part.
Yeah.
And lastly,
Here, I have to flip it toward the RoboCam here.
So
Try
that RoboCam.
all right, that one.
There.
All right.
Oh, where are we going?
Ooh.
I'm dizzy.
Bryce is so blurry all the time.
I can't help it. It's my shiny head. I am the intrepid explorer. And at the end of the game, I gain 1 triumph for every constitution or intelligence. And I gain 1 for each type of story icon in my story.
All right.
So, I didn't win the favorite. I did slay the Archmage. So, who wants to start with their sweet story? Or do we want to add up points?
Before stories happen, I do want to preemptively bow out of stories. Just the thought of doing it is giving me a lot of anxiety, and I really, really don't want to.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Thank you.
Matt, Amanda? Again, if anybody wants to bow out, that's no problem.
I was indeed the sole survivor of a great tragedy in the village where I grew up, which led me to a life as an outlander, where I learned to fight dirty in a place of power. I was a powerful dirty fighter. When I came upon a childhood rival, my vengeful nature came out and I crushed him. But in the process of murdering him with foul murder, he enlightened me as to what had really happened in our village, of which I had had a wrong impression for all of these years struggling on my own. It turns out our village was cursed! And that any survivors of that massacre would be servants of darkness. But rather than run from my destiny, I ran instead to the secret vault and withdrew the weapon with which I could embrace my cursed nature, take over the Assassin's Guild, and become the cunning villain I was always destined to be. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
So I can go next. So, which camera should I hold? Just up here?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I was getting it right. So I started out as the humble hunter. And through hunting, I became very brave, fighting many beasts in the forest. I was a little rebellious in my nature, but that comes with the territory of being a hunter. I became very adventurous. And through being studious, I found out I was secret royalty. After finding out I was secret royalty, I became a natural leader of my people. Unfortunately, a tragic loss took one of my beloved people from me. Through watching over the city, contemplating some of my failures, some of my many failures, I became more honorable and, at the end, a hero of destiny. So, that was me. So now the math. Or no,
Bryce gets
I'm
to go.
sorry.
They always said I was born lucky.
So switch to the camera and then see if you can find it.
Mystery camera.
There we go.
You want it this way?
Yeah.
Alright.
That's hot.
They said
Wow.
they said I was born lucky. That it was good of me to be a settler. I used to dream of discovering the unknown. Until one day, bandits or somebody, I don't know, this horde of zombies attacked, and I had to defend my homestead. I was left with nothing. I had to forage for food. Many times I was tempted. I wanted to give in to the dark side, but I resisted that temptation in many inventive ways. I went on a desert caravan where I earned a vast fortune. Unfortunately, that fortune was stolen from the rich.
Somehow.
So wow, on this adventure, they said I was good. They said I was intrepid. But as I found many places, there was evil lurking everywhere. I found a dastardly queen who I had to unseat for the good of all.
Of course.
An archmage who abused his power that I was forced to slay. Finally, I was imprisoned, and there I sit, plotting my revenge.
Revenge is good.
Exciting math?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm with the control booth over there.
So,
Who wants to know who won, though?
I think the viewers won.
the viewers are the winners of this.
I kind of want to know how badly
If
I
you want to cut
was.
up some math, I can do some talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you just want to.
Sharon promised to do my math for me, so
It's
I'm
true,
down with
it's
that.
true.
I was gonna do
Is there
all
a
of the
chance
math.
Sweet.
you could do
well,
which one is up?
Yeah, I'd love to just kind of check in,
Yeah.
see if it felt like too much, not enough, how much the additional RoboCam helped for all of you in chat. You're going to be able to track what was going on with the game.
And then you can be Intrepid Explorer, your destiny on the ship that way.
Now that gives you all of you a chance to type, and we can have another awkward silence while math happens.
Awkward
Yeah.
silence.
Awkward silence.
Math,
It's exciting.
So Pax wrote me a story
Awesome.
Ooh.
You should read Pax's
that I'm
story.
gonna read to you guys.
Amazing.
Well
Okay.
done, Pax.
That was the one thing
Amazing.
I wanted to point out earlier. That Mark said.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't.
I was trained with my family in the ways of the assassin. One day I was attacked with my brother, probably.
bother.
I was bothered by the attack on my brother in an alley, and while I calmed the attacker and deflected the attack, I uncovered my own arcane abilities. I went to train as an acolyte, and my time in nature inspired me, and I became its sworn protector. I communed with the spirits, and they blessed me with wisdom and mercy. I traveled the kingdom and was eventually summoned before the king. My words of advice inspired him, and I was made the High Arcanist. Thank you very much for
Good
that.
job,
Pax.
Pax.
Definitely.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well
it was
done.
excellent.
How close are we to numbers? Still working on it?
Well,
it's-
we got to count up a lot of stuff.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
of
So
stuff.
yeah, this
So one
this
thing we
can't
can
happen
do
while
is
announcements
we can
are happening.
actually count up the numbers off screen and then post it in the Discord.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
About
It's a
Yeah.
cliffhanger.
All
Dun,
right,
dun, dun.
we'll
Who
let you
won?
know.
Yes,
All right.
and that will be
Pax-
in the ZOE Game Night
the
fan
Zoe
chat.
Game Night fan
Yeah.
chat.
So,
Yeah.
Pax, could you get that Discord link up? Sweet, look at that. It's like you were on it before we even said. So, cool. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to have the opportunity to join all of you tonight. I'll get out of the way so you can finish this show.
All right. Well, not only do I want to thank everyone for being here, Amanda, it was a glorious pleasure. I'm going to say glorious a lot. That was so many times.
I am fine with you calling me glorious. So.
You are glorious, Amanda, and it was wonderful to have you here. I want to thank Madeleine and Sharon for playing the game well and not being evil.
I don't know if I played it well.
You played well. We'll see when the points add up,
Yeah, that's true.
and it'll be great. I want to thank the audience for being here with us. I appreciate everything you guys contribute, and it really helps to make it feel like we're doing something fun. Aside from playing a game, that's fun. But you guys contributing makes it feel more fun. So So next week, there's not going to be any game night because we're going to be hosting
The
Shadowcasters, Christian show.
Christian show. So that'll be cool. On January 23rd, we're going to be playing a game called Just One. I'm going to be starting a series, which is something in German that I haven't learned how to pronounce yet, but it translates roughly to Adventures in the Game of the Years. So the Spiel des Jahres is an award that gets handed out every year for games based on how fun they are, boxing, other stuff. I'll go over it on the 23rd. But this one is called Just One, and it's an interactive game, so I'm hoping that you guys will join us and be able to be a participant.
Yes.
Masters of the Metaverse is going to be on Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And I think that's about it.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Madeleine's got notes.
The ZOE Game Night fan chat on Discord is now up. We have voting for the game that we're going to be playing in, the board game we're going to be playing in March.
The non-Spiel des Jahres.
Yes, the non-Spiel des Jahres one. There's a few options in there, and I have in my brain what I want, but I'm not going to say anything. So head over there, cast your vote. That's also where we're going to be posting who won tonight. And also on Wednesdays, the announcement for what's going to be happening on the Thursday is going to be going up. So
all right,
check it out. Keep an eye out.
I'm not actually sure on the timing of Big Snuffy Robots, and so I didn't want to say what's going on. I believe that 18th, there's something going on?
Yeah, 18th at 3 p.m. It might not be a full story start because it is a big story reboot. There might be some beta testing that has to happen, but it will be available for you guys, and you guys can definitely watch that. All right?
Yeah, I think that's about it, guys.
All right, thank you very much.
Good, thanks everyone for being here.
Bye.
Have a good day. Night, wherever you are.
It's
It's going to be a VOD, so
Whatever.
mystery
Nice.
time.
Wow.
All right.
Boop, 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 boop.
Technical.
Adding up points.
Yay!